Hello everyone, just as a disclaimer, the lighting might be terrible in here. I can't do anything about it. Sorry. Hey guys, as you can see, I have the Dell Optiplex hooked up right now that I have mentioned in previous videos, and not my beautiful gaming PC. Some of you might wonder in a bit why it doesn't have this thing right here. This Pentium that I stuck in a previous video. Give it a couple seconds. Hard drives do hard drive things. Not very quickly. But they still do their thing. Some of you are wondering, oh my god, why does that say i7-3770 as well? Well, that's a story for you guys to hear. We, as in me and my best friend, struck eBay gold. We stumbled upon a lot of 8 CPUs for, quote, scrap or reuse. It was $100 starting bid, and we got it down to $80 because there was an offer button. What we got out of that bid was this i7-3770, and going from the bottom back up to the top, we got, it was unknown at the time because it had too many scratches, a cute little i5-650. 2 cores, 4 threads, 3.2 gigahertz up to 3.46. But these first gens were also great overclockers. So I might be doing something with this. Going up the ranks, I got a little i3 2100. Pardon the thermal paste. Another adorable 2-core, 4-thread CPU up to 3.1 gigahertz. I have next an i3 2120. 3.3 gigahertz, 2-core, 2-thread, 2-core, 4-thread. Again. And then, this one was also hidden in the listing. As you can see, it's still got some pretty bad scratches. Pardon the thermal paste again. An i5 2400. 4-core, 4-thread, I think like 3.1 gigahertz. This one is pretty decent. This one I might actually use for something. I don't know, maybe a little server or something. I'm thinking of turning the i3s, at least the 2120, and this 2400 into like a server. Now we get to the cream of the crop. i5 4590, great CPU. Could be used in like a little 1060 3 gig build, or like a 1050 Ti. A massive i7 4770. That really isn't a huge jump over 3770, but still. And last, certainly not least, and the best CPU on this listing, the Intel Core i3 10100. Given that the 2 4th gens, the 1st gen, and the 10th gen CPU work, the 10100 is definitely going into like a 2060 super build. The 4770 is definitely going into like a 1070 build again. And the 4590 is going to go into like a 1060 build. When I say 1060, 1070, 2060 super, for those who don't know, I'm talking about the graphics card. The GTX 1060 is still a decent 1080p low card. The GTX 1070 is still a decent 1080p like medium card. And the 2060 Super is a good, also like 1080p medium card, comparable to a 2070, but just a couple years newer. So, right now, in this Dell Optiplex, I have the i7-3770, and with the CPU, with 16 gigs of RAM someday, with an SSD someday, I'm going to do the exact same thing to this cute little thing as I did to this. That is, shove in a decent graphics card, 16 gigs of RAM and SSD, put it in a pretty case, and sell it for like $400. There are a couple differences between this and this, though. What are those differences? Let me show you. First of all, the SSD. I already had a 256 gigabyte SSD going into this venture because I saved it from the brink of death when it almost went bad in my laptop. I don't have an SSD anymore, so I'm going to have to pay a little extra for an SSD. And the same situation with the power supply. I already had a 650 watt power supply for that thing. I don't this time around. I'm going to have to buy a power supply for that thing. I'm thinking of doing like a 550 just to cut costs a little bit. Really anything will do except the ones that I can't pronounce the names of. So, I mean, whatever I can get, I can get. There was another thing, too, that is currently slipping my mind. Nope, my mind is just slow. I covered everything already. But those two things will increase the price that I have to put into this initially a little bit, so my profits won't be as high as this. This was kind of a lucky shot, but I'll still be making decent profit as a business. The other stuff I could sell as is if I so desired, but I'm not like that, so I'm going to try to work with it, see what I can do with everything. Another question you might all have is, why am I running Windows 10 on it right now? Why don't I put Windows 11 on it like I did the gaming PC? Well, first of all, I installed Windows 10 for the ease of installation. None of this hardware is supported by Windows 11 officially, so I have to jump through hoops to be able to get anything installed on it. Second of all, this PC is not finished yet, so I can use Windows 10 on it until I sell it to a consumer with Windows 11, because consumers are going to want Windows 11 now that this little operating system is dying. That concludes the rest of today's video. I hope my videos help all of you see just how much you can do with a phone camera, a couple of old CPUs, a couple of old platforms, a couple dollars, and a dream. Thank you for watching. Like if you like the video, don't if you don't. Feel free to leave comments about how you feel about all of this or what I should do to better my endeavors of becoming a computer business. Thank you, and I will see you all in the next video about this Optiplex.